Hi everybody, it's Graham from Z-Tech Inside. What I'm going to talk about this morning briefly is how I generate the CAN data that I'm sending to the Plex dashboard. The reason I'm sending CAN data to the Plex dashboard is because I want to test the gauge layout and the features that the Plex dashboard gives you, like warning if temperatures are over a set value and things like that. The Plex software has got test features built into it, but they just generally cycle through values from 0 to 100 and then back to 0 to 100, and it's not real data. There is also a feature in the Plex software where you can actually just manually type in figures and for it to show you the reaction by the dashboard, but I want to actually send you some real data. So what I'm going to do is quickly walk you through how we do that. This is the Plex device manager. What I can just do is the last file that I modified, which is this one here, and this will show you the configuration of the dash. There's the screens. That's the sort of the screen that's shown when I'm stationary on the waiting line. There's lots of information in there, diagnostics information, and then when I start moving it will switch to this screen here. It switches automatically when the speed gets above, I think it's 20 kilometers an hour. It gives me less information, but it gives me some information that I think is very useful to me when I'm driving. But I want to test it. How does it work in real life? And the simplest way to do that is to take the data from that's been captured by the ECU and convert it back into CAN. So let's have a look. Let's get some data, and we'll get some data from 2024. We'll go back into downloaded data, and let's go for the Kerber figure of 8. See what it does. There you go. So there's some data from one of the runs at Kerber last June. Okay, and you can see these are the channels that are captured by the ECU. And they're captured at different frequencies. Some are captured at 1,000 times a second, some are captured at once a second, and it depends on the mode that the engine's in, whether it's under high load, whether it then captures at 1,000 Hz. It's not very exciting anyway. So what I've got is a worksheet called CAN out. Now this takes all of the channels that I would like to export over CAN. So I think there's 48 channels. So what I can do is I can say I want to go from there to, let's go to there, and then I can then say I want to export that information. So I will take the data, we'll export it to text file, to CSV, good old CSV. We'll call it CAN in, and I'll just drop it into the let's go into the T drive, into the Python, into the ini CAN Plex test, and we'll put it in there and we'll export it at 20 Hz. Okay, and that's done. And if we now get into that folder, you can now see a file called CAN in with today's date. If I double click on it, this is the data that's exported from the live ECU. So these are the channels that I want to now take from this file and export into CAN format. Once they're in CAN format, I copy them to the Raspberry Pi, and then the Raspberry Pi, there's another piece of Python that runs on there that then sends the data across over CAN using one of these USB to CAN devices, which just plugs into the Raspberry Pi with the USB connector. So there's the data on the screen. What we will do now is, you can see here we've got all the columns. So I'm going to be ambient air temperature, head charge temperature, alternator on and off, all that sort of stuff. What we'll do is we will then take that data and manipulate it and put it into CAN format. So if I close that down, go into Visual Studio, you can see here this is the Python software. What this does is it takes the CSV file that we've just exported from Live View, and it basically manipulates the data and puts the data from the CSV file into the frame format that we then need to transmit over CAN. So it basically opens the file, reads it into memory, closes the file, opens the output file, and then it starts processing the information it's got on its memory. So it says frame 1, which has got an address of 600, we're going to export the RPM, we can export the pedal position, the longitudinal G-force and the gear, and then it says frame 2, we're going to do the same again, but it's address 601, we're going to do fuel consumption volume by hour, vehicle speed, traction control, spin target, TC spin out, and it creates a very long line of CSV data by going through the 12 frames, and then it writes those frames to the output file. And that takes seconds to run, so I'm going to run it now. And that's done. There you go, simple. And that has now created a CAN out file. If we double click on that and open it in Excel, you can see this is the data. So these are the lines we're going to send across CAN to the dashboard. So it's saying address 600 because it's frame 1. These are the most significant digit and the least significant digit for all of the pairs of bytes. There's frame 602. So it's taken that information that was shown in the previous CSV file and it's written it into this format here, ready for transmitting across CAN. Okay, and it's done it at 20 frames per second because we exported it at 20 Hz. Okay, so what we do now is we power up the Raspberry Pi. Just going to plug the Plex in. Plex is now booted up and it's showing that it's waiting for data, just sitting there at the moment because there's no data being transmitted, it's not doing anything. So what we'll do now is we'll go on to the MobiX term, which is the software we use to connect the terminal session to the Raspberry Pi. Just waiting for it to boot up. I'm logging as Graham B, and we need to now transfer the CSV file that we just created into that terminal session. So we're going to drag CAN out, drop it over there. There you go, that's done. So that's now good to go. So what we need to do now is run a command that says run the Python code that sends the data. So I'm going to send that now. I'm going to press return, and what you'll see on the screen here is data now being sent to the dashboard. This is CAN data generated from the logged data captured by the cars. This is me accelerating at Cobra, around the first corner, around the figure of 8 course. So we've got engine oil temperature, vehicle speed, engine coolant temperature, engine oil pressure, throttle on the right, brake on the left, and we've got some LEDs on. The green LED there tells me that the alternator is on. The flashing yellow ones at the top show me that traction control is active, and the one down here shows that the fan's running, and then these will only flash to tell me when to change gear from 5th to 6th. I don't change gear manually until I get into 5th gear. 1st through to 4th gear and into 5th are all done automatically by the ECU, so I don't bother flashing lights to tell me when to change gear, it does it for me. But when I get into 5th and I'm pulling very hard revs, that's just across the finish line, I think, we're just finishing now, then it will flash. And that's it. And it will now stay in that screen mode until I come to a standstill, and then I can change back to a different screen using the joystick on the front. Got some diagnostic screens as well. There we go. Okay, so that is it basically. The Pi will just keep running over and over again, repeating that CSV file, sending the same data over and over again over CAN. You can see on the screen here we've got the data that's being sent shown on the screen as it's running, and that is it basically. The Python scripts to manipulate the captured data that we exported and convert it into CAN data is on my GitHub, and there'll be a link to that in the description. And the Python code that runs on the Raspberry Pi to send the data across to the dashboard is also on the same GitHub, so just look for the link if you're interested in looking at the code. I hope you found that interesting. For me it's a game changer because it lets me just test properly, thoroughly, all the different features on the dashboard. So it's much easier than just turning up at an event and finding something doesn't work and then trying to debug it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, please like and share and subscribe. That would be brilliant. Thank you very much.